The Detroit Lions have put themselves in a bit of a bind, losing to the Green Bay Packers on Thanksgiving, making it seem near impossible for us to clinch a playoff spot. But that is not exactly true. The Lions do still have a chance, and in this video, we are going to break down exactly what needs to happen for the Lions to clinch one of those final playoff spots. First and foremost, thank you for tuning in to the very first Lions Digest video. My name is Brian. I'm going to be your host, following all the news, updates, news, everything you're talking about the Lions. This is your one-stop shop. Would love to be starting off on a higher note, but you know, we can work with what we got. Lions losing to the Packers have put us in a bit of a bind. We are now hoping, not only do we need to win a whole bunch of games, we also need a couple other things to happen. But let's focus on what the Lions need to do first. Like I said, a lot of different possibilities right now. Looking at the NFC North, if you guys aren't aware, the Bears actually upset the Philadelphia Eagles, meaning that not only are they the number one team in the NFC North, they are now the number one team in the NFC. Evidently, Ben Johnson just can't do anything but get the number one spot in the NFC, and all the power to them. They have had a tough time, much like the Lions, and now they're seeing some success. So, hey, you know, Bears fans out there, coming from a Lions fan, I'm not too upset with you. However, the Packers being ahead of us, I don't like that sound. I don't like the way it looks. I don't like being that number 3 seed. So let's talk about how we can get beyond that. Looking at our schedule coming up here, we do have a bunch of big games, 2 in particular that I'm going to circle out to you guys. First one coming up on Thursday. That game against Dallas is going to be a huge one. Not only because we need to win, but also Dallas has actually had a bit of a resurgence, despite their very questionable trade of Micah Parsons, giving that over to the Green Bay Packers, which, thanks, Jerry Jones. I love having him in our division, one of the best defensive tackles of all time. I love having that to play that guy twice in 1 year. It's so much fun. Anyways, getting back on track, Dallas also needs to win that game as well, so that's going to be a big game. And, of course, last game of the season against the Bears has given whole new context in these last couple weeks. Now that the Bears are number 1 in the NFC, and now that we're fighting for a wild card spot, that game is going to be one to watch. That game is going to determine so much of what we're going to be seeing in the playoffs. But what do we need to do before we get to that last game to win? Let's talk about that right now, guys. First and foremost, getting ahead of ourselves here, Lions need to go 4-1 over the next 5 games. We do need to beat the Bears, and we do need to beat the Cowboys. Like I said, this game coming up on Thursday, big game. We do need to go 4-1. End of the day, if we can win out, that puts us in the best position, but bare minimum, we need to go 4-1, and we need 2 of those victories to be against the Bears and the Cowboys. Next, we need either the Bears or the Packers to sweep each other, preferably the Bears sweeping the Packers. 1, because I don't like the Packers, but 2, because if the Bears do sweep the Packers, that leads us into what we need, the third thing that we need. Whatever team sweeps, we need them to lose the 3 games besides those 2 coming up. So they have 5 games coming up, each of those teams, and specifically the Bears, and we need them to beat the Packers twice, and then we would need them to lose the next 3 games. Now, why I was saying that I prefer the Bears over the Packers, like I said, 1, because, I don't like the Packers, but 2, it is because of what the Bears' schedule also looks like. If it can come up. Here we go. Bears play Cleveland and San Francisco, and then, of course, they play us. They're the other 3 games that I'm talking about. San Francisco has had a very big resurgence in terms of their offensive output. They look like their team that they've looked like the past couple of years. Now with George Kittle coming back, CMC, I think the 49ers have a much better chance of beating the Bears now than they did perhaps at the beginning of the season. The Browns, another team, started off very, very slow. Defense has been carrying them through games. They might have a little bit of an offensive resurgence with Shedeur Sanders coming in. But this schedule looks a lot tougher for the Bears, and of course, the final game that we play against. That is the big key for me. We play them at the end of the year. That gives us more of a chance to control our own destiny, which, as a fan of sports in general, you always want to be playing for your team. You never want to have to ask other teams or hope for other teams to do things in order for you to win. But, Lions haven't won the games we needed to win, and this is what happens. Now we need the Bears to kind of do some winning and some losing. We also have the Packers schedule up here. Like I said, they play the Bears twice, Denver, Baltimore, and Minnesota. Packers have been pretty up and down. It looks like their offense may have found something in the last couple weeks. Their offense was the thing that had been lacking, and if Jordan Love has found something that does make it a little scary. And of course, as we all saw at the beginning, that tie for the Packers. That is the thing that is going to be the most annoying for Lions fans. That tie is going to mess up everything, as well as the fact that they beat us twice, meaning that if our record is similar at the end of the year, whether it's, maybe we have one less loss than them, that tie is going to mean that they're going to advance. And as well as the fact they beat us twice, it just doesn't look great. That's why, personally, even though the odds are about the same for the Bears and the Packers, if either of the team sweeps, I would prefer the Bears. That also puts us in, not necessarily the driver's seat, let's say the passenger seat. Let's say we're in the passenger seat. We got one of those fake steering wheels. We're sort of there. So that's kind of the end of the day. Well, to recap, we need to go 4-1. We need to beat the Cowboys this week. We need to beat the Bears. We can afford to technically lose one game, but realistically, we need to win out. As well as we need the Bears to beat the Packers, not once, but twice. Can they do it? I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of things that can happen. Beating them twice, especially in the span of those 3 weeks, is a bit of a tall order. Worst thing that could happen is that they go 1-1. So if you're a Lions fan out there, which if you're not while you're watching Lions Digest, maybe you're hate watching, that's okay. Either way, that 1-1, whatever team wins first, we're rooting for them the next week too. It's going to feel weird to be rooting for the Packers, so that's what I'm saying. I hope that the Bears can win out. But that's kind of where we're at right now. Very unfortunate with this team that we've had. Our offensive line has really struggled the last couple weeks. The run game, as much as I love Jahmyr Gibbs, it seems like the entire offense is running through him right now, which it's great when he's doing well, as we saw with the Giants game, running for over 250 yards. But when he's not doing well, we see what happens. The offensive struggles. Obviously, losing Amon-Ra St. last game was not great. I actually am going to have another video specifically talking about that Packers game and what happened to Amon-Ra St. and all that great stuff. So be sure to hit subscribe. That way you'll get notifications every time I turn a video on. But getting back here, there's a lot we need to happen. Unfortunately, we are no longer in the driver's seat. The loss of the Packers lost us control of our own destiny. We do need a lot of other things to happen. We're not out of it yet. We do still have a good chance. Because we're fighting for the NFC wildcard spot, though, we are not just only looking at the NFC North teams. There's also a lot of other teams, the 49ers, the Seahawks, the Rams, that we're going to be looking at that need to either win or lose. You never like being in this wildcard spot, but we're not out of it. So there is still hope that we can still go into this Thursday night game with some hope. We need a win. Am I saying that if we lose this game that we're out? No. Does it mean that our chances have gone down even more so? Absolutely. So whatever the strategy is, whatever those fourth down calls are, bring them to that Thursday night game. Bring the energy, bring the good vibes, the manifestation, whatever you want to do. Bring your lucky rabbits whatever you do to win. Maybe you wear your lucky jersey, whatever it is. That's going to be up for that Thursday game. Let me know what you guys think. Do the Lions still have a chance? I know on paper we do, but what are you thinking as a Lions fan? Maybe you're not a Lions fan. Whatever that is, how do you feel about the Lions going into the playoffs? Can it happen this year? Have we made too many mistakes? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching, and be sure to check out more of our videos on the latest Lions news. Have a great day, everybody.